Hello everybody! In this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can embed a website into Work Adventure. For instance, here I've got a map and there is a whiteboard here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure when you walk next to the whiteboard you can have basically Sketch Together, which is a drawboard application. So here I can draw about anything, but I want to embed that in my Work Adventure map. Embedding a website is quite easy in Work Adventure. All you have to do is define a layer and add some properties as usual. So let me show you. I'll start by adding a tile layer and I'll call this layer Whiteboard. I'm going to put this layer at the bottom so it is not visible, and I'll say that when we walk maybe here, so I can see what I'm doing here, but if I press the H key, I can see below. Let's say that this zone here will be reserved for the whiteboard. And my layer is ready, and now all I have to do is add a property here, and the name of the property is Open Website. It must be a string. Do not forget the capital W here. All I have to do is actually, I can take the URL I want to embed. So here, it is the URL from Sketch Together. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to save the result. I'll go back to Work Adventure, refresh the page, and if I walk next to my whiteboard, the whiteboard is going to open. Success! And of course, what is cool is using websites that are offering collaborative features out of the box. This way, we can be several people walking next to the whiteboard and drawing together really easily. So this is really easy, as you see. The fact is, it can be a little bit more tricky sometimes. Let me show you with another example. I'm going to try to embed a YouTube video. I want to prank my colleagues, and of course, let's say that when I walk next to this computer, I want to trigger the Recastly video. Everybody knows this one, alright? In order to recall my colleagues. So how I'm going to do that? Well, I'm sure you understood. I'll go in Tile, I'll create a new layer. I'm going to call it Recall. I'll define this zone, and when I walk on this zone, I want to open a website, and the website URL is YouTube. But if I try this, let me show you what will happen. Uh-oh, not working. Basically, YouTube does not authorize being embedded into another website. Why so? What can I do to solve this? First, let me explain you why. This website here is technically called an iframe. It is a website into a website. Basically, Work Adventure is a website, and inside Work Adventure, I'm adding another website. And some websites can refuse to be embedded into iframes. In order to know, well, you need to check a special header. So it's going to be a little bit technical, but follow along with me. If you go on the YouTube page and you press F12, it's going to open the developer console here. I'm going to go on the network tile. I'm going to refresh everything. So here I can see everything that is loaded by YouTube, but what I'm interested about is here, the link at the top, which is basically the basic video page. If I'm looking at the response headers here, and I'm looking through a lot of them, here I can see X frame option, same origin. What it means is that iframes cannot be loaded outside of YouTube. So it means that basically you are not allowed to embed YouTube into an iframe. It's a bit tricky. There is an easier way to check that. There is a website which is called iframetester.com, and you can simply pass the URL, click on the render iframe, and you will see that it fails. So iframetester.com is a quick way to find whether a website can be embedded or not. Hopefully, when it comes to YouTube videos, there is a way. Basically, YouTube does not allow being embedded out of the box, but there is a special feature if I click the share button here. And if I click the embed script, I can see that basically YouTube allows iframe, but on another special URL. And if you look here at the code, the URL is hidden in the src attribute here, and this URL can be embedded. So let me copy this URL, and if I paste it here in my map, and you can see that there is a special /embed/part in the URL. If I'm saving and if I'm refreshing Work Adventure, it's working, and I can recall my colleagues. Yay! You got it. Okay. Still, there is something that's not perfectly working. Let me show you. Here, there is usually the YouTube full screen button, right? But if I click on it, it does not work. It doesn't work because iframes are not allowed to go full screen by default. Iframes cannot do everything that the main website can do unless they are specifically granted some rights. So let me show you how we can do this. I'll go into Tiled and I will add another property. And this property will be Open Website. And here I'm going to say I'm allowing the full screen feature. I'm going to save the page again, going back here and here. Now, if I'm trying to go full screen again, full screen is working now, which is pretty cool. And basically, there are quite many policies out there. You might want to have a look at the MDN, which is basically the documentation from Mozilla, which is listing all the properties allowed in the allow list. There are many of them. You can allow full screen, you can allow geolocation, allow enabling the camera. Usually it's not really useful because we already have a Work Adventure for that. But yes, there are many of them and the documentation is here. Also, if you go back in YouTube, you can see that by default, YouTube is adding in the allow property quite a number of policies. And basically, I can simply copy those and paste those into the Open Website policy property to allow them to. So yeah, that's basically it. There is still one last thing I want to show you. Basically, right now, when I walk next on the area, the website is opening automatically. But maybe I might want to require a user interaction for the website to open. And I can do that with yet another property. This property is called Open Website Message Trigger, So I'm going to write Open Website Trigger. The value of Open Website Trigger must be on action in lowercase here, it's important. If I save this right there and I'm trying again, you will see that I will be prompted for an authorization. Here I'm walking on the zone and you see here I have press space or touch here to open website. And if I click, the website is open. I can even do better. I can customize the message at the bottom. So if I go back in time and if I add in yet another property, which is Open Website Trigger Message, it must be a string too. Here I can write whatever I want, like press space to view weekly report. Okay, so that it's a good prank. I'm saving the page, and if I refresh my page here, you'll see that the message has changed and now it's press space to view weekly report. Well, it's a success. I showed you everything I wanted to show you today. Now you know how to embed a website into Work Adventure using what we call a core website. So it's a website that is in split screen mode and that you can resize as you want. There is yet another way to embed a website. It's to embed the website directly into the maps. So basically you could imagine that you have a website here and you can walk around the website. And I will show you this in another tutorial. In the meantime, well, have fun looking at websites that you can embed in Work Adventure, and happy Work Adventure. Have fun, bye!